I'm feeling good. I'm feeling focused. I'm feeling electric. I'm feeling that this is my moment in life. I'm a brave soul, you know. I'm a brave soul, and I'm somebody that you could trust to always speak up with injustices and try to be the best leader I could possibly be, admit my wrongs, but also, you know, fight for what I believe in.
People go, where does your confidence come from? You could say confidence borderline delusional. That's what people say, is it confidence or is it delusional? You see where my confidence comes from. Denzel's a phenomenal fighter. Sparring #1 ranked WBO middleweight in the world. He's currently probably walking around at light heavy, 2 weights above mine, and performing the way I'm performing. Heart rate's in the amber and green zone. That's what that is.
Some fights are built on rankings, titles, and mandatory obligations. Others are built on tension that quietly grows for years before finally exploding into reality. Ryan Garcia versus Conor Benn feels like the second kind.
I think I was up at 5 a.m. For me, it is really just a matter of removing myself from my familiarities and my comfort zone. So in the morning, he doesn't really have anything to eat. Yep. Before a session, here's a couple of coffees.
On September 12th in Las Vegas, 2 of boxing's most recognizable names are expected to collide in a fight that has evolved from speculation into one of the sport's most anticipated events.
Why not wake up, run at 5 in the morning when you're tired, go back, have a nap. It makes them sparring harder.
It smells of hard work.
So,
And a lot of fucking beers, to be fair.
and a lot of that. It allows me to push my body harder. It allows me to just, fully focus and be able to get up at 5 in the morning, do the runs without getting ill.
I see perfection, and I'm telling you, it's dangerous for the other guy because I see that he's a complete boxer. I told you yesterday that he was talking about his body structure, what it means to him, and now he knows that this is the way he has to be going into the ring. I've never heard that before. So I told him, you know what, that's a breakthrough. This is it makes you now a complete fighter.
For Ryan Garcia, this will be the first defense of the WBC welterweight title he captured against Mario Barrios, a victory that proved he could compete successfully against naturally larger opponents.
I'm gonna be prepared because every day I've been doing this and everything's been consistent. It's almost like getting your homework done. Like, you got your homework done, you've been studying, you have not you've been at every class, and it's like, all right, I'm not that nervous. Like, still got a little ooh, but all right, if the question comes, I'm gonna be there to answer it. Like, I've already done this too many times to even be too worried about it. Don't worry about nothing else and start boxing.
For Conor Benn, it represents an opportunity to complete one of boxing's most dramatic career resurgences and finally secure the signature victory that could elevate him from contender to champion.
It's elite all the way through. And for me, if you need anyone to push you or motivate you in training, you are in the wrong game. Because if you can't get up off your ass and get it yourself, no one's gonna make you get it. And if you start relying on other people to give you that ambition or that drive or that desire, again, you're in the wrong sport.
My dad created a shed for us to train in. It was like a little barn. It was funny, I was always seen as somebody that was destined to make it. And my family, they just always felt like I was gonna have an impact on boxing. There's been times in my life that I've said to myself, you better push it, you better win. Like, my mom and dad, they gave their whole salary to this one tournament. We drove all the way over there. It was cross country. And I said to myself, if I lose in this tournament and I gotta do this long ride back home, this is gonna be torture. So I swear on my life, nobody was beating me. And I actually fought a southpaw. Guess what I did to him? Punished him. And came back with the national title. So that was good.
What makes this matchup so compelling is the contrast in styles and personalities. Garcia enters with the faster hands, the dangerous left hook, and the confidence of a fighter who believes he has already conquered the biggest questions surrounding his move to welterweight. Benn arrives with relentless pressure, a high-volume attack, and the mentality of a man who has spent years hearing doubts about whether he belongs at the elite level. The rivalry has only intensified as both fighters have publicly traded words, with Garcia insisting Benn has been calling him out for years, and Benn making it clear he believes this is his moment. Yet beneath the headlines and the buildup lies a fascinating boxing match.
Good? Yeah, there, it's a rotation. More tension or good?
More tension.
Solid. Solid, good. So Tony's got him progressing incrementally week on week. So it's not just we do a blanket approach, it's based on the athlete, based on his times. We track all of the times, and today you probably saw all of his times improved exponentially. It was incredible. And it's interesting because at the start of the camp, he's like, I'm never going to be able to do that at the end of camp. Tony's like, trust me, you are.
Can Garcia's speed and timing keep Benn at the end of his punches? Or can Benn drag the champion into the type of relentless battle where momentum and pressure become impossible to ignore? On paper, Garcia may hold the edge, but boxing has a habit of turning certainty into confusion. That's why this fight feels less like a routine title defense and more like a collision between two fighters convinced the future of their careers depends on one night in Las Vegas.
But just when it looked like Ryan Garcia versus Conor Benn was moving from rumor to reality, Oscar De La Hoya stepped into the conversation and reminded everybody that in boxing, a fight isn't official until the people signing the contracts say it is. That's what immediately caught my attention. We've spent weeks hearing about September dates, Las Vegas plans, and verbal confirmations, yet Oscar is basically sitting there saying, hold on, nobody's called me yet. That's classic boxing.
Is there movement? Is it official that Ryan is facing Conor Benn? Can you let us know about that?
Not official. Nothing's official. Just quite yet. I've been hearing rumblings, and look. The bottom line is, Conor Benn is with Zuffa. Conor Benn is promoted by Zuffa and Dana White. I believe that's a fight that Ryan wants. And if Ryan wants that fight, me as his promoter, I have to grant his wish and work with every promoter, just like I've always done.
One side is already talking about the destination, while the other side is still checking if the plane has taken off. What makes this situation fascinating is that Oscar isn't dismissing the fight at all. In fact, he sounds like a guy fully expecting it to happen. The difference is that promoters live in a world where excitement and paperwork are two completely different sports. Ryan may already have his sights locked on Conor Benn, but Oscar is looking at contracts, networks, business partners, and negotiations that fans never see. Then he drops that hilarious line about being in a room with Dana White potentially being more entertaining than the fight itself. And honestly, I don't know if that's confidence, comedy, or a warning label. Maybe it's all three. That's why this story suddenly becomes bigger than just Garcia versus Benn.
If I have to work with Dana White, so be it. Which I believe me and Dana White in the same room, breathing the same air, will probably be more entertaining than the actual fight itself. So it's gonna be interesting to see how it unfolds, all the negotiations and where this fight lands. And obviously, look, we're with DAZN. We are with Ryan Garcia. So again, I work with every promoter out there, and just to make the big fights happen.
It's also a test of whether boxing's traditional power structure and Zuffa's new boxing ambitions can smoothly work together. Ryan clearly wants the fight. Ben clearly wants the fight. The fans definitely want the fight. Now the business side has to catch up with the fighters, and if there's one thing boxing has taught us over the years, it's that landing the left hook is sometimes easier than finalizing the contracts. Still, the important takeaway here is that nobody involved sounds like they're running from the matchup. Oscar isn't shutting the door, Ryan isn't changing course, Ben isn't backing down. So while the paperwork might still be jogging behind the headlines, the momentum keeps moving in the same direction. And when everybody wants the same fight, history says it's usually only a matter of time before the bell finally rings.
Naturally, someone watching this would be like, well, what's happening?
Right. Well, what's happening is, typical, fighters that are eager. They want to fight a certain guy, and they announce it on their social media platforms, and they go on shows announcing it, and not knowing that we still have work to do, which is fine, because if that's the fight that you want, then that's the fight we're going to get you.
And that's where Gareth A. Davies takes the conversation in a completely different direction. Because while Oscar De La Hoya was talking about contracts, negotiations, and whether the fight is officially over the finish line yet, Gareth is already looking ahead to what actually happens when Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn are standing across from each other in a Las Vegas ring. What caught my attention wasn't that he favors Garcia. A lot of people do. It's why he favors him. Gareth keeps circling back to the weight question, and honestly, it's the elephant in the room that nobody can punch away. Conor Benn has spent the last few years bouncing between divisions, taking fights above welterweight, and looking physically stronger at higher weights. Now he's potentially coming all the way back down to 147 against one of the fastest punchers in boxing. That's not a small detail. That's the entire plot twist. Gareth basically looks at Benn's recent performances and sees a fighter who still has the aggression, the pressure, and the engine, but maybe not the same wrecking ball energy that had opponents looking uncomfortable from the opening bell.
He's got star character and star qualities. If he's going to make 147, if he's good at the weight, it'll be a good fight. If he has really struggled at the weight, he's going to struggle against Garcia, who is a massive puncher at welterweight with both left and right hooks, notably that left hook. It's a dangerous fight for him. I think it'll deliver all the way to the fight, but I think he'll get knocked out by Ryan Garcia, unless he knocks Garcia out himself. I want to see Devin Haney in with Ryan Garcia as well in the rematch. That's a massive fight.
Meanwhile, Ryan Garcia is sitting there as the reigning WBC champion, carrying speed that can turn a good idea into a bad decision in about half a second. And here's where it gets interesting. Gareth isn't saying Ben has no chance. In fact, he openly acknowledges that Ben's style is exactly what makes this fight dangerous. Because pressure fighters don't ask for permission, they drag you into the fight whether you like it or not. The problem is that every step forward against Garcia comes with a risk attached to it, and that risk usually arrives in the form of a left hook traveling at alarming speed. Then Gareth drops the commercial angle, and honestly, he's probably right. This thing has all the ingredients of a modern boxing blockbuster. Controversy, personalities, social media reach, crossover appeal, and enough trash talk to keep microphones employed for months. But once all the promotion ends, the fight itself comes down to a simple question. Can Ben reach Garcia consistently before Garcia reaches him first? Gareth believes the answer favors Ryan, and the closer this fight gets, the harder it becomes to ignore that possibility.
They'll be rolling around like Ali and Frazier on the floor in their suits, arguing in their slippery brogues. Everything they do in the build-up to that fight will be box office gold. The fight itself, I favour Garcia in a big way.
Is it the biggest fight outside the heavyweight division?
Because of the draw of Ryan Garcia and his huge social media following, because of where Conor Benn sits now, because Ring will be behind it, Turkey Al-Sheikh will be behind it, Zuffa Boxing will be involved in it. It's a big crossover fight in lots of different ways.
And that's what makes Plemons' reaction so interesting, because Gareth A. Davies was looking at Ryan Garcia versus Conor Benn through the lens of styles, weight cuts, and whether Benn can survive the firepower at welterweight, while Wade is looking at the bigger picture and basically saying, hold on a second, boxing just landed itself a blockbuster. And honestly, he's not wrong. The moment Ryan walked onto a major late-night television show and announced the fight himself, this thing instantly felt bigger than a normal fight announcement. It stopped feeling like insider boxing news and started feeling like mainstream sports news. That's a different animal. Wade keeps coming back to the chaos surrounding the event, and somehow that's part of the attraction. You've got Ryan Garcia, one of the sport's biggest stars, Conor Benn bringing his own massive following, Oscar de la Hoya potentially sharing the spotlight with Dana White, Ring Magazine involved, Zuffa Boxing hovering over everything, and enough moving pieces to make a chessboard nervous. Somehow, all of that confusion is making people pay even more attention.
So, it is what it is. I like the fight, though. I don't think Conor is ready for Ryan, but if there is a champion at 147 that Conor would beat right now, it may just be Ryan. Ryan and Conor will do crazy numbers. I think Ryan has a lot of the edge here. I think Conor showed in his last fight he is still a ways to go from being world level. If that ever happens at all, I don't know. And Ryan showed in his last fight, even if it was Mario Barrios, that he's back on track. Like I said, this will be on September 12th.
What really made me laugh was Wade questioning how all these promoters, organizations, and personalities are going to coexist. That's a fair question, because getting boxing people to agree on anything sometimes feels harder than winning a split decision in the opponent's hometown. Yet here we are, and beneath all the business talk sits a fight that is actually pretty straightforward. Ryan has the speed, the timing, and that left hook that keeps showing up like an uninvited guest at every prediction. Benn has pressure, determination, and the kind of mindset that doesn't care what the odds say. Gareth sees danger for Benn because of the weight and style matchup. Wade sees opportunity because of the spectacle. The funny thing is, they might both be right, because whether this becomes a technical masterclass or a chaotic firefight, September 12th suddenly looks like one of those nights where boxing reminds everyone exactly why the sport can still capture the spotlight. One punch changes everything, one rivalry gets settled, and somehow the business drama might end up being almost as entertaining as the fight itself.
How does this work with the WBC and Zuffa and Dana White and Oscar de la Hoya? And the whole thing is chaos right now in boxing. But amongst the chaos, we have at least a very fun build to a fight. I don't know how the fight will go. Listen, we know that both guys, Conor Benn and Ryan Garcia, bring it on fight night. So I don't expect a bad fight. I expect Conor Benn to really get stuck in, and while doing that, probably run into a left hook, I'll be honest. But still, regardless, I think it'll be a fun fight. And I think it'll be one that we'll walk away from saying, if anything, it was entertaining as long as it lasted.
So now it all comes down to September 12th. Ryan Garcia sees a chance to strengthen his reign as WBC welterweight champion. Conor Benn sees the opportunity to score the biggest win of his career. Oscar de la Hoya says the business still has to catch up with the headlines. Gareth A. Davies believes Garcia's speed and power could be the difference. Wade Plemons sees a blockbuster that could bring boxing back into the mainstream spotlight. Different opinions, different predictions, but one thing everybody seems to agree on: this fight has all the ingredients to be must-watch television. The personalities, the controversy, the styles, the stakes, it's all there. Now the talking stops and the pressure starts. But what do you think? Does Ryan Garcia's speed, timing, and left hook carry him to victory? Or can Conor Benn's pressure and aggression shock the boxing world? Drop your take in the comments. Let's really talk about it. And yo, don't ever forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters. See you in the next one.